What up? Coming to you live from Hawaii. Every time I'm here, Slater's kind enough to let me use a vehicle. I usually go for something new or something I haven't drove before. Last time I was here, it was a Daihatsu Terios. It was my first time driving that car. It was non-turbo and automatic, but it was still a great daily. After that, I was like, all right, I want something a little faster, maybe turbo, four-wheel drive, and that's when I got behind the wheel of a Suzuki Jimny JB23. That thing I drove until I left. I went off-roading, I did donuts. It was such an amazing K. And if you've been following my Japan videos, I keep saying over and over, I want something similar like that from my mom. I already had 3 Jimnys. I feel like the Pajero Mini is also a better daily. I wanted to get like a 99 or newer version. And for some reason, it didn't even cross my mind to get a Terios Kid. I don't know if it's because I had a full-size Terios for a little while back home, but this is such a good car. And I'm a Daihatsu fanboy. So when I pulled up to JDM Hawaii and saw this, I said, sign me up. Look at that front end. I loved my Terios. Gotta love the aggressive lights. Has fog lights. This one in particular is super clean. It's automatic. If this was in the East Coast, I'd buy it from my mom right away. I don't know if I feel like doing a road trip from Los Angeles to New York in this, but it's the perfect spec. Clean. Don't really care about the color. We're gonna get into everything in a second, but let me give you guys a quick tour. Has this cool Terios Kid thing back there. Automatic, 4-speed, dual airbag. Even has backup sensors. I'm not even sure where the sensors are, but this is when you're in reverse. It beeps when you get too close to a car. Maybe it's these two guys there. But tell me this isn't a great looking K. 4-wheel drive, power mirrors, rear wiper. This one only has 66,000 kilometers. Power windows all around. It's an arrow down. Just like my Terios back home, I would definitely entertain putting some tries on here. But look at this thing. So in front of us we have a, you gotta love the chickens in the background too, but in front of us we have a 1999 Daihatsu Terios Kid. The Terios Kid is what signifies it being a K car. A Daihatsu Terios, which I'm showing you on the screen right now, is essentially the same car but more beefed up. So similar to the Suzuki Jimny Wide or Pajero Junior, this is the Kid K car version of the Terios. Just like the Jimny and Pajero, they're all 5-lug. You could actually put real rims on here. This one's on 175/80 15s. It's an arrow down, so it has the side skirt, the front lip here, you can see it. And then same with the rear bumper. Gives it a little aggressive body kit. You can see it here. Also comes with a spoiler. This one has a cool rear tire cover. Tender relationships between earth and people. While we're back here, let's go take a look at the trunk. Like I showed you guys earlier, Terios Kid mat. You also get some additional storage. Of course, you have the rear seat belts. Both seats also go down flat. It actually works in a pretty cool way. So you pull this one to go down. I'll take off this headrest. But if you go like this, you realize, okay, you know, what's going on? Why isn't my seat going down flat? So you actually have to pull this, and then that part of the seat goes up, and then this one goes down completely. So it isn't up or like a K-van where it goes completely flat. You have to have this here, so technically you lose a little bit of storage, but you are now able to have something completely flat go down here. It isn't on a loop. Cool thing about the rear seats too is they lock in a couple different places, so that's all the way up. You can pull this handle, make it lock back there just in case you have someone a bit taller. It even goes further back, so you can have someone almost lay down if they're like 6'2" or 6'3" and really want to sit on the back. Fortunately though, no rear speakers. You do get a light back here. I'm pretty sure the Pajero Minis do have rear speakers on the back. The Jimnys definitely don't. Here's a look at the front door card. A little bit of cloth there. Everything's still all plastic. These also come with a lot of cool seat patterns and floor mats. Same with the spare tire covers. There's like 90 different options you could have got from the factory. Yeah, this guy right here. If you want to be in the video, just say something. This one's 4-speed automatic. You have your overdrive button on the shifter. Here are some of your options. This one doesn't have the foldable mirrors, which usually would be a button there. It does have fog lights. It is 4-wheel drive, which I also love. This one is just full-time rear-wheel drive unless you press this button. And then rear defroster, rear wiper, and then empty switches here. If anyone has a fully loaded Terios, comment below. One thing I could think of is maybe lockers. I doubt these had a sunroof, but maybe that would go there. And then I can't imagine what would go here that's large, because it would have to be the same size as something like this. So if you know, Comment below. Now let's pop the hood. Under here, just like the Daihatsu Terios, just like my Tri, just like the Daihatsu Tanso, just like almost all turbo Daihatsus from the late 90s and the early 2000s, is a 3-cylinder turbo single cam engine. This one was also fully serviced. Instead of it being like this in, you know, a car like the Terios, it's just sideways, just like my van. New battery, very clean, hood scoop. If I wanted to, I could just put an air filter right here, it'll sound just like my Tri. Lots of aftermarket parts too, and lots of parts just in general with these 90s Daihatsus, because so many cars share the same engine. So now let's give it a quick start. AC blows cold. Radio works.
I'm in Florida, no matter what happens. Yeah.
Speakers work. I actually couldn't imagine how fun this car would be if it had an intake. Because like my van's a van, you know, like this one actually boogies, and like I mentioned earlier, it's full-time rear-wheel drive unless you press the button. So it's way faster than my Tri, weighs less than my Tri, more aerodynamic than my Tri, has a hood scoop. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout, even while I'm in America, to see if the car deal page team can help me find one. Here's how it looks with the lights on. Unfortunately, it does not have yellow LEDs and H4s. But once I get mine, it definitely will. Tell me this isn't a good looking car though. Like, all jokes aside, stop what you're doing and comment below, please. Also leave a like on this video, road to 50K. But this doesn't look good. Come on. You know, certain cars, if someone says that the Daihatsu mirror walkthrough looks ugly, I can understand that. It looks like a mail truck. But this just looks like a really cool hot hatch that is also turbo and 4-wheel drive. But now let's focus on what's important. Just because the car looks good doesn't mean it necessarily drives good. And this one drives great. I'm gonna get on the road right now. I'll just punch it really quickly. Again, this is not a sports car. And I hope, maybe I've moved the camera, but I hope you can hear the turbo whine. Like it sounds like I'm in a sports car right now. Like, hope you can just hear that. But here's your POV. Everything easily accessible. Like I mentioned, dual airbags, which is always a plus. Horn does work. AC, of course. Rear wiper in the back. Let me show you guys a quick acceleration test. This is foot all the way down. For someone who's driven a lot of K cars, not only Jimnys and Pajeros, the bigger 5-look cars, this is just as fast as the automatic auto. Now, just for everyday life, super comfortable. There's a little bumpy patch in front of me. Barely even feel it just because I'm sitting so high and my tires are like this thick. I really hope the camera is picking up that sound. This right here. I have faith in this. You can almost hear the little, like the small subtle blow out. Like it isn't a sports car, and I think that's why I like it so much. And it's slept on. Like, I'm always gonna be pro less popular car. Like, of course I'll get a Beat, I'll get a Cappuccino, but one of the main reasons I hate the AZ1 is not only is it beyond expensive, and no K car should be $20,000, especially not one where the windows go down this little and you can only sit 2 people, but it's such an over popularized car. Same with the Honda Acti. It's like when people think of K trucks, they think of Actis. When people think of off-road K cars, they think of Jimnys, and Jimnys are great, so I'm actually not going to shit on those. But no one really thinks about the Pajero Mini, and because it isn't as good. And I don't think this is as good as an off-roader like the Jimny. But for someone like me who's not really going to go off-roading, I just need a car for my mom that I feel like is safe, something cool, automatic, turbo, get around town. Terios. Working my way on the highway. Let me turn the AC off so we can get the best audio and the best performance. Oh, it's empty too. So right now I'm going, let essentially the golden spot for all K cars. Can your car comfortably do 62 miles per hour? I am, let me go a bit faster. Well, I'm going 90 now. You can see I'm at 35 on the RPMs. If I want to go 100, I'm closer to 4. Look, I'm 4,000 on the RPM. Red line is 8. If I want to go much faster, because again, it's two-wheel drive and turbo, this is 70 miles per hour. We're at about 5. If I want to go even faster, 130, I'm still at 5. I'm going uphill at this, mind you, by the way. Like, this can definitely hit 140 and tap out. I don't have the space to do it. And the fact that it does it so gracefully, no one's talking about the Terios kit. Like, it almost feels sporty, too. Like, it isn't... Like, I feel like it's in between Jimny, and it's just like the Pajero Mini. We're going to actually compare the two cars when I get to the dealership, because there's two over there. I'm going to show you guys the interior of a JB23. I'm going to show you guys the interior of the newer Pajero Minis. And comment below which one you think the best, which one you feel like is the most worth it value-wise, because this one is definitely on the cheaper end of those three cars. But even now, with the AC on 2, I'm going 100 kilometers an hour, again, around 4,000. Handles great, power steering, of course. It's like, this is one of those cars where it's like, I'm just enjoying it. I have no desire to switch vehicles from now to when I leave here in a week. Brakes work good. And I don't mind it being automatic. Like, a lot of people be like, oh yeah, it'd be so much better for a stick shift. It might be better if that's what you want, but as you can see, I'm in standstill traffic on the highway. I don't want to be in a stick car. I want to be chilling, just like I'm back in New York. You know what it really is too? It's a Daihatsu thing. I don't think anyone cares about Daihatsu. I think that it just, because it isn't a brand that's really marketable or really exists in America, like the same thing with the Tri. I feel like a Tris are very slept on. I feel like the Hijet's very slept on. People know about the Jumbo, but even that, like, a lot of people don't know about the Jumbo. They don't think about the Mira TRXX when they're comparing Alto Workses and Cappuccinos and Beats. They definitely don't know what a Mira walkthrough is. Maybe if they see my videos, but that's a car that no one really knows about. And it's just a Daihatsu thing. I think like all Daihatsus, the Naked, no one is looking or selling Nakeds. I think people just don't take chances on Daihatsu. Even Gio, if you're watching right now from Ohio, he was like, yeah, I just don't know how the Hijets will do in his community. And he knows his market. I'm not saying anything bad about that. But it's like, damn, I love Daihatsu. Years ago, even the Midget, I could name non-stop Daihatsus that I think are amazing vehicles and like cornerstones to like just K cars in general. And a lot of people might not see that. But even years ago, I was saying that Daihatsu was my favorite brand. Like, there's definitely cars that I love from Suzuki, Mitsubishi, Hondas. But when it comes to Daihatsu and how innovative they are with the Midget, with the walkthrough, with the Jumbo, with, I'm not gonna say a Tri and this, like, this isn't innovative, but there's no car like the Midget from another company. There's no car like a Mira walkthrough from another company. I know they made like Mitsubishi Minica, but they're just like older versions and they didn't make it past like 90s and they're not 660 and they're whatever. We don't really talk about those, but Daihatsu has been killing it for years. Even the Copen, how could we forget about the Copen? Like I mentioned earlier, cruising speed under 3,000 on the RPMs. It's a 4-speed automatic, which is another big pro. I'm now going to drive to JDM Hawaii now, and let me show you guys the competitors of the Terios. And you let me know honestly. I don't want to say they're all the same price because Jimnys are usually more expensive, but let's say they're all around the same price. Which one would you choose? Now let me do a quick 360 before I show you guys the other options. You see fog lights, selectable 4-wheel drive, dual airbags, AC, rear wiper. Take a look at the cluster. Power windows all around. Also a 4-door, which we should add. I didn't even factor that in when it came to the other two models. So here's the Terios, right? We're gonna say this is $1,000. Another sleeper. You know what? Let's throw this into the mix because these two are very similar. So a Honda Z, we could also say this one is $1,000. Fog lights, 5-lug. Also not the best off-roader. Only exists automatic. This one has same thing, fog lights, power mirrors, power windows. Can fit a double din. Also has dual airbags. Not as comfortable in the back like the Terios. Really nice door cards. This one does have rear speakers though. You can see on both sides, and then 2 for the front. Next we have a JA22. I don't want to add this one in there, but let's just say because this is technically an older model, it's pre-1999. But I didn't want to get something like this for my mom. I feel like it's too tin canny. It isn't dual airbags. This one I don't even think has, yeah, this one has no airbags. And you can just tell all here doesn't look as luxurious, if you want to call it that. Look, no speakers here. The speakers are there. Obviously no rear speakers. Lots of plastic. Drives great. Does have selectable, you know, high-low, 4-wheel drive and everything. It's definitely an amazing off-roader. This one even has the manual lockers, right? Yeah, it has the manual lockers. A great off-road vehicle. Daily for my mom, I would think otherwise. But you can say this one, if you want to put it up there, is... I don't even want to put a price on this one because I feel like a lot of people are going to pick it. But let's say it's $2,000. It's $1 more $1,000. This was the car I kept looking over and over and over for my mom. So surprisingly, it doesn't have dual airbags. It only has a driver. But you can just tell from here. Doesn't it look a lot better? Doesn't it look like a good daily? It actually does have selector high and low. I didn't even know that. But AC, I still feel like this isn't as modern and as nice as the Terios. And I keep forgetting the fact that Terios is 4 doors. Like, that's a huge pro. No manual lockers or nothing like that. All turbo. Every single car I'm showing you guys is turbo too. This one's a 4-cylinder though, no? Oh no, these are 3-cylinder. Very clean. This one's sold. I was gonna say this one is $1,500. But it actually does have the foldable mirrors, fog lights, of course. This is digital, which is really nice. I think the cluster on the Mitsubishi looks very modern. And this one happened to be stick shift. But I didn't know it had this. I know the older Mitsubishi Minis prior to this year definitely did not have that. Damn, there was a JB23 parked here yesterday, but they brought it to the pier today to ship to one of the other islands. So in this video here, comment below between this, the Z, the mini Pajero, and the JB22, I guess, which one you would take. I didn't even factor that this was 4 doors. Like, I don't know why that just slipped my mind, but that is such a big selling point. You don't have to worry about the person squeezing between your chair over and over. I already sat back here, so you can tell there's a lot of space. But again, I think this looks pretty modern. Dual airbags. You know, the AC switches could be nicer. Maybe like a turn instead of just the switches, you go back and forth. But power windows all around. Dual airbags, horn, cluster, turbo, 4-speed. Really curious to see what you guys are going to say in the comments. I could see the Z being maybe people's second favorite, just in general. It doesn't have to be this exact Z, because it is very similar to the Terios. Engine's in the rear, which is a little annoying, but because of that, you get a frunk with some additional storage. You can put all your things in there, and these are also full-time 4-wheel drive, which I would say is a con. The Terios is definitely a lot faster than the Z. Comment below what videos and what cars you guys want me to review and make content on. I definitely at some point need to switch over from the Terios to this. I can't go my entire trip without driving this, and I really want to send it home. I need to figure out a way where this can be like maybe turbo swapped. Like, this is forever K status. We gotta make it happen one way or another. Thank you guys for watching Road to 50K. Peace.
Remember the name. This is way before the fame.